Welcome to OZTV. Here we talk about everything that you need to know. We talk about family, we talk about relationships, we talk about children, homes. We talk about virtually everything. So I want you to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell for more videos coming up, and watch out for a new show coming up called Spit It All. Thank you.
At what time, do they, realize and become lonely, as in get aware that they need some kind of companionship?
Well, I mean, obviously the realization for that is going to be different for different people at different times. So you really can't say when it will happen. Is it going to be 1 year in or 5 years in, or when the kids are older or younger? I think it's going to be different for everyone. But I do want to say that here in Nigeria, there seems to be a belief that once a woman has kids, and especially if that woman that has kids has perhaps been married before, she doesn't need anything else in her life. She doesn't need to remarry. She doesn't need to be in a relationship. Her life is settled. They will say, face your children, forget about everything else. And I think it's the most ignorant, stupid statement anybody can say. And I said that. You know what I mean? Because, and let me tell you the reason why. A woman is still a human being, regardless of what she has been through in her life. A woman that is a single mom, whether she was married or not, whatever the circumstances is actually relevant, her goals and aspirations and her dreams remain the same.
Yes,
the truth of the matter is, if the woman becomes lonely, let's say it got to that or whatever, if she chooses that she's in a place where she wants to seek out a relationship and move on with her life in any capacity, I think she's free to do that. I don't think it's a crime. I don't think it's anything wrong. She's free to do that. That's what this boils down to. There's no rule that says, oh, you've had children, so your work on earth has finished. Move to the side. It's not like that at all. I think, the sooner we all realize that we are all human beings and we all have needs, the sooner I think, we can open our minds to opportunities and situations that we may not be familiar with. So, at any stage in her life that a woman decides, either meets a partner that makes sense to her, chooses to remarry, chooses not to remarry, but wants to be in a relationship, whatever the circumstances, she's well in her rights to do that, and when that opportunity shows itself, I think she should pursue it.
To break it down more, what she said is the truth, but to break it down more, because I know that viewers will want us to break some things down for them to really understand. Yes, single moms can be. Like she said, you can't say the loneliness to start in 1 month, 2 months. Let me tell you one funny thing that people don't know. A single mom could do in the next 2-3 years pursuing something without thinking of having a man in her life. Loneliness sets in most of the time. When a woman is busy, she doesn't remember something, so especially busy, I mean she's making money. Something else occupies her mind. She's all fire, hustle. Fire, pursue your dream, passion and all that. But for most people, the loneliness sets in most of the time. Where you just stay, you're alone. And most of those nights, some thoughts will just creep in. And it gets you down. And you need to say, if I had someone. But the funny thing is, the moment there is day, she sees the sunlight comes in the morning. Strength comes in from you. You see her get up and move. She may not remember that loneliness again for the next 6-7 months. That's the truth. She also gets lonely when there is a path at times, the one that makes us a human being, as weaker vessels that we are. The truth is, when someone is a weaker vessel, means the person is stronger than you. That she's weak does not mean that she has fallen to the ground. No. There are roles you want a man to play around you. Possibly someone insulting you and calling you all different kind of names and all that.
Even just going to the mechanic.
Mechanic.
You don't like, we don't have to go into insults.
Someone calling
Fixing the
you
gen.
names. Fixing the generator, mechanic, or there is a position where you need a man to sit down and speak for you, because society we are is somehow crazy. Where you may be walking to an office and they tell you, are you single or married? The moment you say, I am single, and everybody tends to look at themselves like, you don't have a husband, you know, and they try to place embargo on some things about it. You see her get a little withdrawn to herself. But let me tell you, a single mother is that woman that the moment you challenge her with a particular thing, she'll rise up above it. The next time you see her, if it is a mechanic thing, you'll find out that she wants to put her interest to know where the carburetor is, to know where this one is, to know where that one. So when you're talking about it, she's already aware. She'll begin to face that thing the way it is. You understand me? There are this kind of people that I told you before, their antenna becomes sharp. They will not want to live above what you feel will become their weakness.
Yeah.
They stand above it. Do you understand me? Now, I use the word weaker vessels. That's what they call us, right?
Yes.
Both in marriage and outside marriage. We have neck and we have head on top of the neck. Without the help of the neck,
The head can stand.
move your neck this way. Move it that way. Without this, where will the head be sitting?
On position.
You can now see that the weaker vessel is stronger than you.
Yes.
If you remove the neck, your neck cannot stand.
That's right. That's a good one. But you know, when it comes to relationship, you know, is it leaders? How do they receive a man into their life? You know, after going through the whole struggles that they've been going through, you know, being alone. You know, in most cases, sometimes being responsible for a lot of things, you're the one doing what a man and a woman should be doing. So it's like you've taken up that responsibility in your life to do everything, to juggle up everything in your life. And all of a sudden, a man walks up to you, approaches you to, you know, start up a relationship with you, you know. In most cases, I am thinking that there's this shield, this wall that most women build around themselves because they don't want to be hurt twice. You understand? So if a man wants to come into their life, how is it easy? Is it something that they allow freely, or does the man have to like do extra, give them extra attention, or you know, I'm trying to get the right words here because I know that most single women find it difficult to love again if they've been hurt the first time. You know, in as much as they want to love again, you understand? They want to be loved. They want to have a man in their life. Some of them are willing to have a man in their life. Is it how easy it is? How easy is it for them to, you know, accept a man into their life? Do you think it's something that they will be willing to do, or something that they would want to, you know, hold back a little bit and try to get to know the man, even, you know?
I mean, I think it depends on where the woman is at, first of all, in her life, you know. So if her breakup recently happened, you know what I mean, there might be a disinterest in a relationship right away, and it evolves from there. But one thing I think is the case for most single moms probably would be not any man can come for a single mother.
Yes.
There has to be a level of maturity in that man. Because when you're coming for a single mom, you have to realize that it's a very independent, very strong, and a lot of times very confident woman.
Yes.
And the confidence comes from when you've accomplished certain things, when you are the person, the providing,
Yeah.
you're doing the work of a guy and a woman in a situation. It builds a certain amount of confidence, I think, to where they often don't want to tolerate nonsense. They don't have time for games.
Yes.
They're not interested in, a lot of the drama that can come with some relationships.
Yeah, that's why they have this war all around.
And fear for being hurt also, or, trust issues, those kind of things. So it's not for every man. Not every man has the determination or the drive to break down the wall that has been built around the woman who has experienced some things.
Yeah.
So you have to be mature, you have to be
Patient.
understanding, and, accommodating for that. Then again, then everybody's going to be different, and they're going to make different choices based on where they are in their life and what they're looking for, So it's one of those questions that's kind of, there's no blanket answer. I think there's no blanket answer for a lot of things when it comes to feelings, emotions, and relationships, because everyone is wired differently. But I think for the most part, though, what I do know is that, if you're a man going for a single woman or a single mother, the approach and the outlook is completely different than when you're going for someone that doesn't have the responsibility of other
Exactly.
humans under their belt.
Yes.
Well, for me, what she said is right. Pardon me, in Nigeria or Africa, even outside Nigeria, this name single mom rings bell a lot in the ears of men. Most of them think they can have it easy. The first thing they come to do is what they have in their mind first is sex. I want to come and keep a sex partner. For the ones that are doing well, single ones that are doing well, gold diggers will want to come. Let me read where they know so. All these things put together, the moment you're coming to a single mom, the first thing the single mom will think is, what is this person coming for? It comes to my mind. It rings bell. That is why you see her becoming too defensive first. She will think to defend herself. What do you want from me? Why are you coming? Because everybody feels that a single mom is one that will always open her door, come in, and everything is free. So when she's defensive, not like she cannot love again, but she doesn't want to become a second time. She doesn't want to make the mistake she made before. So most of them become defensive. When you defend yourself, you're now number two. You begin to weigh one background of that person, idea the person have towards people like you, the situation you found yourself, or at the point where this is where I am. If the person is doing well, are you coming for my body? Are you coming for my body? Are you coming for this? Because men have different reasons why they go to women.
Yes, that's true.
Some go to women because of their body, some because of their money, because you're this, because you're that, because there are some even that come, the reason why they're coming is because you have given birth to children, they know you will give birth for them, and then they will now, maybe when you have had a baby, they will pay you off and something like that. You people will just keep that relationship. They will come in the name of love and say, this is our bond that will keep us together. And they are just, the reason, they just have this. There is a different motive for why they are coming. That's what I'm trying to explain. Different men, different motive. You find out that this woman will want to defend herself before falling again into love and falling so that she will not fall out again, out of love. You understand me? Pardon me, please. Finally, in the scriptures, a woman married 6 husbands, and all the 6 husbands she married, she didn't stay in any until Jesus came to the well where she came to fetch water. I'm sure at that time, what will come to my mind is first is, why is this man asking me questions so easy? You know that she was answering Jesus question with question. Trying to know, what do you want? In as much as things has happened to her 6 good times. No woman will want to go through that kind of process over and over and over again. Society behind will begin to judge you. Why is it that she cannot stay in one? She had 1, 2, 3. And they'll begin to point hands at you that you have a problem.
Yes.
So the point is not having the problem. The point is everyone wants to check very well before saying, okay, I say yes to this.
Okay.
You understand me? And the best way to get into any single mother's life is love her children. Any woman with children, you accept her, you don't accept her, you don't want to. It won't work. It will not work.
Can't work. You have to love the children as well. You can't love the woman and not love the children.
Love her children. The moment you love her children, I think like what she said, she might give you a little.
Okay. Do you think any single mother want to remarry? Do you think remarrying is something that single mothers might consider in their lifetime? You know, or do you think single mothers, when they remarry, do you think they will make good wives? As if they consider to remarry. It's a thing of choice.
It's a thing of choice. Most single mothers would prefer to stay where they are. Some will want to say no, I still want to be under a man. This is completely your choice, the choice of that person. If she wants to remarry, she will all out for it. And she knows that probably she has been through that route before. She's ready to take up that burden. Again, some will tell you, no, I don't want to be under anyone. I just want to remain like this all the days of my life. It's that person's is completely the choice of the individual. Whether society judge her or not.
Because they're not
This
in a
is-
situation.
This is me, this is the way she wants to do it, you know. But some other person will say, no, I will still want to bury myself under a man, answer another man's name, and all that. It's completely that person's choice. You don't force anybody into it, you don't, whatever society has to do, is there. But that person, you're an adult. The moment you're 18 years old, so it's your choice.
So if one decides not to, do have anything to do with it, and maybe the lady is doing very well for themselves, they don't want to be entangled with any man, how do you think they handle sex?
Like an adult. I mean, it's a question that I don't even understand. We're all adults. We're all grown-ups.
As if you don't want to have sex with them.
People have, so marriage in Nigeria seems to be the end-all be-all solution to everyone's life. It's the ultimate goal for everyone. If you haven't reached there, you have not accomplished anything, and they begin to have needs for you and so on and so forth. But why? People can be in a long-term relationship with one person, be satisfied, be fulfilled, be respected, be so many things that people in marriages are not. And it will satisfy all their needs and urges and goals and dreams and so on and so forth. Everything is going to be different. I think in Nigeria we just hold so much to this whole thing of marriage. And marriage is important. Marriage is a great thing. Marriage is not for everybody. Marriage is not for everybody in every stage of their life. It doesn't work for some people for whatever reasons. And for some people they are successful at it. But it takes more than just I want to be married to be married. It takes a lot of work, not from just the woman, as we tend to believe here, but by both parties. So the truth is that a woman who, there's many things that go into would a single mother want to remarry. Was she married before? Has she been married before? You know what I mean? Does she want to marry again? How bad was that marriage? Has she recovered from that situation? There's so many things that go into it. It's time and the person that would tell what would become of them. But I don't necessarily think whether the person has been married before or not, even with single women, I'm not someone that has been defined by or as defined by the role of marriage. But then that doesn't mean that I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone that could eventually lead to marriage. But marriage is not necessarily always the ultimate goal, nor does it mean that because I don't want to get married, that I want to be sleeping around with different people. I'm a woman that has sense, I have dignity, I have pride, I have self-respect. So I am not to be on the streets, that kind of thing. So one partner who is my person, and we're in this, and we will see how it goes from here.
So So
I want to, I love to break it down.
I want to
She
break it
said-
down.
She said it. Let me show more light. Maybe I'm going to shake the table right now.
Mm.
There are women who are in their husband's house. You see how
Jesus.
to handle sex.
Table or
Who don't enjoy sex.
A lot.
There are women who are in their husband's house who use sex toys.
A lot.
There are several women today